Welcome to this presentation on consumer products in the workplace. What are consumer products? Consumer products are purchased and used for non-commercial purposes, like at home. These products are usually available through retail stores or online suppliers. Examples of consumer chemical products are cleaning supplies, adhesives, or paints. Consumer products can have physical and health hazards, and we will review how to manage them in the workplace. The risks related to these products are evaluated based on the ingredients, components, packaging, and estimated lifetime exposures for consumers. In the workplace, you may see cleaning products or shop supplies that you also see at home. These hazardous products also require training and education on their safe use, handling, and storage. In North America, consumer products are currently exempt from hazardous product regulations. This means they are not sold with a safety data sheet. But this doesn't mean they are not hazardous. For example, they can be toxic, corrosive, or flammable. Have you noticed there are different warning symbols for a cleaning product under your bathroom sink versus an industry cleaner in your workplace? Both symbols may look similar. For example, think of the skull and crossbones image. Pictograms on the left are used for workplace chemicals and the images on the right are used for consumer products. Chemical hazards are classified based on the ingredients of a product. A paint used at home to touch up your house has a different formulation compared to paints used for spray painting houses professionally. However, there is a growing demand for and more access to industrial-strength chemicals. The risk of exposure to a person being harmed by a chemical product is based on how the chemical is used, how much is used, how often is it used. Chemical products are often used differently in work settings than they might be used at home. For example, in your garage you might squeeze out a couple of drops of lubricant, but at work you might have to spray the chemical so it becomes airborne, which increases your exposure. The result, when exposure goes up, health risk goes up. Chemical products are often used differently in work settings than they might be used at home. For example, in your garage you might squeeze out a couple of drops of lubricant, but at work you might have to spray the chemical so it becomes airborne, which increases your exposure. The result, when exposure goes up, health risk goes up. Frequency of use is also a factor. At home you might use WD-40 a couple of times a year, maybe to loosen up a seized bolt. In a work setting you might use it every week or maybe every day. The result, when frequency of use goes up, health risk goes up. Think of the example of cleaning your house once a week and the exposure to cleaning products versus cleaning as part of your daily job for hours every day. In the workplace, risk of exposure and adverse health effects from chemical use increases as the frequency and quantity of the chemical being used increases. How does a workplace determine if an SDS is required for a consumer product? If the risk assessment for the product in the workplace is higher than that of household use, an SDS is necessary. Many consumer product manufacturers have SDSs for their consumer products such as automotive products and cleaning supplies. You can find an SDS on your online site or mobile app. SDSs can be obtained for consumer products and contain valuable information for protecting workers. Chemscape supports our customers by sourcing and maintaining consumer product SDSs. An up-to-date inventory needs to be maintained to identify all hazardous substances at the workplace. This includes hazardous products, explosives, pesticides, radioactive materials, hazardous waste, and consumer products. You should be able to answer the 5 fundamental questions before handling a hazardous product. 1. What is the product? 2. What are the hazards? 3. How to work with the product safely? 4. What to do in an emergency? 5. Where to find more information. An example of a common household cleaning product that can turn deadly is household bleach. Bleach, if accidentally mixed or used with cleaning products that contain ammonia, can produce a toxic gas. So read the labels of products in your home or at work and follow instructions for proper use. In the workplace, organizations need to be prepared for first aid, spills, and fire situations. The plan should include the nature, location, and approximate quantity of the hazardous substances as well as the SDS. It's also important to know procedures for safely storing and disposing of the product. Some consumer products, like batteries, also require special disposal as waste handling if spilled. Take a moment to pause the video and review consumer products that may be subject to regulatory requirements in the workplace. Here are common hazardous products found in the garage and their associated health risk. Here are common hazardous products used in the bathroom and their associated health risk. Here are common hazardous products found in the kitchen, laundry room, or office and their associated hazards. Remember, SDSs can be obtained for most consumer products. You can use the hierarchy of controls to limit exposure to consumer products. Check if you can eliminate use of the hazardous product for the job. Research if there are chemical substitutions available that are less hazardous. Maintain adequate ventilation in spaces. Practice good personal hygiene like washing hands. Use personal protective equipment like gloves if required. This concludes our presentation on consumer products. Use the knowledge you have gained from this presentation to protect your health in the workplace and your personal life. For more information on this topic, contact your health and safety supervisor.